awesome, smooth cinematic. Okay, right, that's actually quite cringy. Anyway, welcome to the Swarm, making of the Swarm Part 4. I swear I mess up that intro every single time and I just make it sound absolutely stupid. But welcome to making the Swarm Part 4. Technically it should be recreating, but yeah, making of the Swarm Part 4. In today's episode, as you can probably tell by some of the cinematics, I'm making the helicopter, as you can see, that kind of area around there, and also I'm making the queue-line shop, so that's something else as well. So you know, that's what we're going to be doing in this episode. But of course I have taken about a month break off of this entire series. I don't really know why. It's mainly just been because, one, I haven't really been uploading at all, and two, I just haven't really been building on it up until recent. And yeah, that's basically the only reasons. Because recently I've actually done quite a bit off camera, which I'm kind of annoyed about because, well, it was so spontaneous as I did it, and then I did it all in one go, and I didn't record at all much of it. And I'm talking about the station building. I literally built the entire framework of the station and whatnot quite recently, as of the time recording this. But this footage is actually very far back, so you're seeing what I've built about 2 months ago, I want to say, something like that. But prior to that, I'd obviously done all the parts before that, and they were made. I don't know what I'm saying. They're just, these episodes are very behind in terms of what I've done real time, me speaking now, because right now I've almost completed the entire project, yet you're seeing when it wasn't even about a quarter done. So yeah, that's something. Anyway, so as you know, there's a few effects on it that occasionally work, not always, and there's also some terrain around it because it's obviously a lake, so I decided to put that in. And here goes the wooden kind of platform that leads out to it. Now, this bit was kind of trial and error. Obviously I used the wooden kind of plank pieces beforehand, and then the wooden beams, sorry, and then now I'm using the wooden columns, I think they're called. I don't know how I don't know that, but I just don't remember the names of individual pieces. I just know what they look like, so you know. And this is kind of how it looks. I do obviously move that down quite a bit to kind of be on that level of the lake, and also move a few supports and put the support beams in as well. So that's another thing. I don't know why I'm sounding so excited when it's literally the smallest thing ever, but it's part of the episode. But yeah, about the whole YouTube thing, obviously I uploaded a video called Wicker Man Broke, and for some reason that did really well, so thank you everyone for that. But since then I said I'd start uploading again, and it's been about another week since this is going out, and yeah, I'm trying to upload as much as I can. As I said in that video, I'm literally busy doing nothing. I just don't really have the motivation recently to actually make videos, but I'm getting back into it slowly but surely I am, and hopefully things go well from the future. But I have a really good idea for a video that involves Thorpe Park, and I think it's going to be a very funny video if I can pull it off correctly, so we'll have to wait and see for that. Anyway, here's where I was talking about the queue line shop. That's coming into play now. As you can see in the background, you can actually see the queue line layout. I have actually completed the queue line, well, not the whole queue line, but that kind of area you can see behind the queue line shop, like kind of from there. After I made this video, I was going to record the queue line building, but I thought, well, the queue line kind of is a bit of a boring process. It's literally just fences, pathways, more fences, more chain link fences, and that's pretty much it. So it's not interesting at all. And I did say I wanted to cover everything in this series, but I'm kind of doubting myself when I say that, because honestly some of the stuff that happens is a bit boring, and I don't really want to bore you to death by bringing out part 5. Today we're going to be building 1 support and 2 wooden beams on the side of the station. It's not interesting at all, which is why I kind of built the station off camera as well. You can't see in this video, as I said, but since this video is going out, I have built more on the project, obviously, because this is way back, but I don't know how long ago, 2 months, as I said before. But honestly, I just thought it would be really boring to see the whole station process, and it kind of was, but now that I think about it, I really should have recorded it all, but I'm sorry about that. But yeah, that should... I want to do a showcase for episode 5 of what I've done so far, but I don't know whether it'll fit in the timeline. So I may just try and see what I've got so far, and kind of go with that up until the point that I think, you know what, I'm going to do a showcase video now, because I've showcased everything that I've built so far, but there's still more I need to show, and then I'll show everything off. So maybe at like part 7 may be a kind of showcase of what I've done so far. I would like to leave it at part 10, but I doubt that's going to happen, because I'm so disorganised, it's unbelievable. But yeah, anyway, disorganised stuff, Colossus. I talk about this in every video. You see, I've made a list, well, I haven't for this one, but every single time I make a part of the Swarm making, I make a list of what I want to talk about, and literally, Colossus and YouTube are always the top priorities. But I want to talk about it here. Colossus, I'm kind of debating whether or not to kind of halt the project for a little bit longer, because in my opinion, something like Swarm, of every single project I learned to do something better. So obviously my Spinball Wizard was like my first recreation, and well, it wasn't the greatest I've ever built, and then since then I've learned how to use like the art shapes and stuff, the wooden brackets, as you can see me doing here. See, I know some technical terms for certain pieces in the game. So yeah, but I just need to kind of go through it again and update some stuff on that Colossus project, because it's a bit behind from what I'm doing now, if that makes sense, without being too arrogant. I don't know whether that sounds arrogant or not, but I'm trying not to be. But the stuff that I'm making now, in my eyes, is a lot better than the Colossus kind of time that I was doing it in. So I want to kind of improve on what I've done already on Colossus, and then start the series up, if that makes sense. I'm trying not to sound cocky, but if I am, just ignore me, because I'm trying not to. But yeah, this is the Q-Line shop. I haven't talked about it at all. I'm starting to do some of the theming on kind of the bottom wall there. This is actually going to be closed, quite like the real thing, so it's a bit realistic on that one. And if you want it to be more realistic, then I might just turn all the effects off, because they hardly work. But talking of that, usually I kind of go to Thorpe Park, go on the Swarm, and you don't really see the smoke effects, the water effects on that much. You mainly see the fire on most of the time, but again, that's sometimes not on. But when I went recently, literally the mist in the plane wing was on, which I was surprised at, and then I saw that the fire came on later in the day, so that was really good. And the water effects near the what's it called, the helicopter, I was about to call it heli chopper, but yeah, I'm stupid. The water effect near there, which it may have been on beforehand, but I have never seen that working this year, so that was pretty insane to actually see that. Well, it sounds really sad, me saying, oh, that water effect was working. It's really insane to see that, but literally, the water effects on this ride hardly work. Whether it's Thorpe Park's fault or whatever else's fault it could be, but they just never really work, and I was really surprised to see them working. So I'm going to keep all the effects on this ride, because I think it kind of adds to the ride itself, and I'd prefer to have them on rather than off. So yeah. Anyway, we're coming towards the end of the episode now. Yes, I spent 11 minutes or so building a helicopter with a few water effects and a Q-Line shop. Well, obviously I didn't spend 11 minutes building both of them, I spent probably hours, but it's all been compressed into 11 minutes. But one thing I do want to say is, what projects would you guys like to see after the Swarm? Because I obviously did Galactica, which I'm still working on. I say I'm still working on it, I probably will stop. But I was working on Galactica. That's not finished, so I want to kind of try and push myself to finish that. And then obviously Colossus as well. But if you want to see any more after Colossus, then just tell me what you guys would like to see in the comments below. I probably worded that wrong, but in my head I didn't. But anyway, coming towards the end now, as you can see, there's a bit more theming going into the right side, and then the queue line obviously starts afterwards. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.